to another episode of our Victory Garden series. I'm Ashley Mariani with Pit Moss, and I have the wonderful Doug Oster. We are at Pit Moss headquarters today, and this is our wonderful, I like to call it our tomato forest.
I can't believe this. First off, a floating row cover.
Yes.
Where did you get this idea?
I think our last video.
When it gets cold for your tomatoes, this is the perfect thing.
It is perfect. It's big enough.
I can't believe you've got a garden right at Duss Avenue in Ambridge here.
About 3 feet from a very industrial road. You wouldn't think it'd be a wonderful gardening spot, but we get such high productivity out of this bed.
This is amazing. Now, the trick I want to show you today is picking some of the tomatoes that have just started to make their change so that we can store them before we get a frost.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you're going to be enjoying these tomatoes all the way into Thanksgiving or later.
I can't believe that, but I'm excited to learn how.
All right, let's get the floating row cover off.
I'm putting you to work today.
Man, this looks great.
Yeah, this is beautiful. They're just so healthy. I have some of your lettuce in here that you gave me from last week.
All growing in Pit Moss.
100%.
This is awesome.
Yeah, the whole bed is filled with our organic plentiful blend.
And you got my flashy trout back lettuce down here.
Yes, actually in every corner you'll see it.
Nice.
All right, so we have a ton of just green, and some of them are just starting to blush tomatoes. And if a frost happens to come in the next week or so, how do I save these tomatoes?
So we're looking for anything that has any change of color at all.
Okay.
You'll get some that are blushing. You'll even get just the bright green to a kind of yellowish green. Once it's made that transition, it is going to ripen. We just don't know how fast.
Okay.
And so see if you can find one in there that has some color.
Oh,
That's a good one. Yeah. And this is a perfect one. We'll put it in this bag. This is what we're going to store it in, but then we're going to put in an apple.
That's so random.
This apple produces something called ethylene gas, a natural gas that helps the tomato ripen. Now, with one like this that has some good color, it's going to ripen anyway. And to tell you the truth, even if you didn't have an apple in here, I think with 1 or 2 ripening, it'll ripen the other ones. But this is the way I've always done it. This is the way I was taught to do it.
Okay.
And it works. And when it works, we will be enjoying those tomatoes all the way to Thanksgiving or beyond, like I said.
That's
all right,
amazing
let's look through here and see what we can. And now if there's anything that doesn't have color, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm putting my apple in here.
Perfect. Let me just yank this out of here, and it's just got that little bit of blushing too. Yeah, here we go.
This is so exciting.
I know. Between so many, so many. You always think, oh, just a couple tomato plants, but they grow so big, especially in the Pit Moss.
I wish I had this sun. I'll tell you that. I wish I had the sun that you do.
Yeah, it's wonderful. That's a nice one.
Yeah. And Ashley, you can see how this one has just changed from that bright green to a little bit yellow. That's a perfect candidate. So go ahead and grab that one.
This one, all right.
Man, you got a good start there.
Yeah.
There's a few more in here, but let's leave as many as we can on the vine. These green ones that haven't changed color yet, they might change color in the next week, depending on how cold it gets. But if they never make that color change, if they don't soften up at all, fried green tomatoes are one of the greatest fall treats that there are. Not the best thing for you, but hey, just, you know, here and there, it's okay.
Still tomato.
Right, right. And next week, we're planting garlic and onions back in my garden. It'll be quieter, but it won't look this good.
Oh, please. Are you kidding? And I already planted some garlic in our garden in the back here. So stay tuned for next week. We got some garlic, onions, and these are some wonderful tomato tips to keep you harvesting throughout these colder months. We'll see you next time.
I happen to notice, though, that you've got some nice ripe ones inside.
We do. You can take some home for lunch?
I might do that.
We'll see you guys.